YouTube, wanted to share something with you that I've actually started doing very recently. I saw on Instagram some bracelets and I was like, oh, those are pretty cool. And I was like, hey, actually, I bet I could make those. I bet they're not too terribly difficult to make. So I started looking into it and Googling it. Was able to find out that you can actually buy pre-made rings to do this. It's actually bracelets made out of chainmail, right? So got on Amazon, bought a couple of pair of pliers. I think these were about 14 bucks. The little curved nose ones. I think these were like $5. They are basically just like regular pliers, except they don't have the teeth on them, so they won't mar the chainmail. So what I did was did a little research on how to make these Byzantine bracelets and found out how to make the pattern. It's actually pretty easy to do. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a moment. But I want to talk to you a little bit about how you decide what rings to buy. So basically when you're making chainmail weave, you want to look at AR, which stands for aspect ratio. And what that means is the ratio between the thickness of the wire, like the gauge of the wire, and the inner diameter of the chainmail. So for Byzantine, you want a 3.2 aspect ratio. So you would measure the thickness of the wire, multiply that by 3.2, and that would tell you what the inner diameter should be. So I got two different gauge wires, or two different gauge chainmail jump rings. I went ahead and just bought them pre-made from this website, We've Got Mail. So I bought a 16 gauge with a 4.25 diameter. So I went ahead and just got online, find out what 16 gauge came out to in inches, and then I converted that to millimeters, and then I found that I needed about 4.25. That's probably not exact 3.2 ratio, but it's pretty close. And that yielded me this bracelet right here. So this is 16 gauge with a 4.25 inner diameter. This one is a 14 gauge with a 5.5 inner diameter. So the one I'm going to show you how to work with today is going to be the smaller one. Just because I have more of these rings inside the house, and I'm going to end up making another one of these bracelets. This is all I have left of this size, so I can't make another one, another bracelet with that. So I'm just going to make this one today. Oh, I also wanted to show you the diameters, what you get. So this one's about 1/2 inch diameter, and this one's a little bit closer to 3/4 inch diameter. That way you have kind of an idea as to what you're going to get when you come out. I think that's a pretty cool looking bracelet. I don't know about you, but I've got clasps on the way. That way I'll finish those off. This one doesn't look bad either. It's a little smaller, but I still think it looks pretty cool. So anyways, this is the one I'm going to show you how to make real quick. Not too terribly difficult, like I said. Just open your bag, dump some rings out. Okay, so to start out making the pattern, what you want to do is actually straighten out a few rings first. You see when they come, if you've bought them like I did, they come offset like that. You need to straighten them out so they're flat. You see how it's flat like that? You may want to even squeeze them closed a little bit more. That's up to you if you want it to be perfectly closed. Just give it a little squeeze to close it up. So go ahead and straighten a few out, set them off to the side. I apologize if the camera's not focusing. So once you've got a few closed up, what you're going to do now is make 3 pairs. So you've got 6 total rings. So go ahead and open up a ring and drop 4 rings onto that one. The closed rings, naturally. So you've got 4 of the closed rings on there. We're going to close this up. So there you go. I'll take another ring, open it, and you're going to put it through the same 4 rings that you dropped on there. That way you've got 3 pairs of 2. So you've got it through the two, put it through the other two. That way it's through all four. And then go ahead and close it up. So, what you've got now is 3 pairs of 2. I got 2 on either side of the 2 in the middle. So, now go ahead and grab another ring, open it up, and this is where you're going to actually start doing your pattern and where you'll see your pattern start taking shape. So take a ring, open it. Now where you're going to place this ring, this is a little tricky to get it first, but after you make a few and you run through the pattern a little bit, it'll be pretty easy. So the 2 that are in the front, you just flip those back, right? Flip them back. I'm trying to do this while looking through my camera, so it's a little tricky. So you've got something like that, right? Now open these 2 so that you have access to the 2 that you just flip back, and then thread this one through the 2 that you flip back, if that makes sense. It'll be the 2 on the outside, the 2 rings on the outside. So then you've got something like this. If my camera will focus. I think you can see it though. Try to focus the camera. There we go. And then it goes right back out of focus. Nice. But anyways, I think you get the idea. So, go ahead and close this ring up. And this is probably not the only way to do this pattern. I just particularly like to do it this way. It's my preference with the limited experience that I have. But so you're going to put another ring right next to this one. So go ahead and open another ring. Sorry, trying to stay within view of the camera and also watch what I'm doing. So open another ring and put it right next to the other one so that you've got a pair going through there. Again, close this one up. So you've got a pair right there, and that's going to be the first pair of your next pair of 3, if that makes sense. So, I'm going to go ahead and open another ring. I'm going to put it through these 2 that I just placed on there. I'm going to put these other 2 closed rings onto that ring. And I'm going to close this up. And I'll put another ring right next to this one, so I've got a pair. So we're going to put it through these 2 and the other 2 so that it's sitting right next to the other one that we just placed. Close it up. And again, we have our 6 rings, which is 3 pairs of 2. And we're going to do the same thing that we just did a moment ago. So I'm going to grab a ring, open it up. So we got a ring open. We've got our 3 pairs of 2. We're going to fold those front 2 back. We're going to open the 2 in the front again. And again, thread this through those 2. Close the ring. And then again, put another ring next to this one so we've got a pair. So stick it through those same 2, close it up. So you can see how our pattern is starting to take shape, right? And you can see there's probably a couple rings there you might want to go in and tighten up. But we're starting to get our basic pattern going now. From there, you would just continue. So I'm going to need 2 more that are closed. So close one, close another. Right now we're getting ready to make that pair of 6 again. So we've got our first 2 on the end. This one's going to, the open ring here is going to be the middle, and these 2 are going to be on the end. So 2, 4, 6 rings once we add the other one to pair with this one. So we close that, put another ring there, so we've got a pair. Okay. Now we've got our 3 pairs of 2. And again, if you're seeing gaps like this, you may want to come back later and just tighten those up a little bit. You can do that after you get your pattern done. There's really no set time frame when you've got to do that. Come back and tighten up all those rings. Might actually be easier once the pattern's done. So I'll do a few more, kind of faster. Speed the camera speed up so you can see it. So I think you probably get the idea from here. And after a few minutes, you've got something that looks like this. If my stinking camera will focus, there we go. And again, if you want to tighten up the links, feel free to go back in and tighten those up. But that's about it. So just keep repeating that pattern. And after about an hour, for me, you have something that looks like this. So this is about, let's see, how many inches long is it? That is about 7.5 inches long. Took me about an hour or so to do that. But I thought this was pretty cool. Just wanted to share it with you guys, show you that it's actually pretty easy to do. The only thing you see, my hand is getting a little red from using the pliers, because you do actually have to put a pretty good amount of clamping force on there. So if you can get some with bigger handles, that might be nice. But I'm just starting out and I'm just messing around with this, and I'm liking the result. So make sure you subscribe to my channel for lots of other how-to videos, and make sure you hit the like button and share this with somebody that you think might enjoy it. I thank you very much for watching, YouTube.